Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Third installment. Got selections here for Saturday, December 14th. For again today's play of the day. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. Nice easy winner in college football with Montana State minus 14 at minus 110 on DraftKings. Never in doubt, Montana State's been the best team in the FCS all season long, and they were dominant once again at home as they scored 52 points and they won the game by 30 plus. So never in doubt. Look for the winner here on Saturday. For the next play, though, I want to remind everyone to get more plays on the website. So when you go to the website, it's a promo code WE. H4US to get a quarter of purchase. Plus, a reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the bell, so get notified every single episode. And before the actual play, going to the Army-Navy game, taking place at around 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, I'm going to go with a quarter play, actually. I'm going to go with the first quarter under 7.5 points at minus 130 on Caesars. Time of recording of 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So the covers want to go with the first quarter under in this game. First reason, DraftKings has the same bet at minus 142. So you're saving 12 cents by shopping around, which I'll do every time. Now, I know that a lot of people are expecting this year's meeting to be a lot more high scoring than usual. That is potentially true. However, the first quarter has been very low scoring for the last couple of years. 5 of the last 6 meetings have finished with less than 8 points in the first quarter. In fact, 3 of the last 4 meetings have finished with 0 points in the first quarter. Main reason, both teams love to run triple option, and they love to drain a bunch of clock. So even if you do get a scoring drive, it does take a bunch of time off the clock usually. And I think with that being the case, you're not going to have enough scoring drives to get this over the posted total in the first quarter. Now, Army is also great at draining clock because they've been great offensively so far this season. They're ranked first in time possession. They're also good against the run as they rank 7th in opponent rushing yards per game. Now, Navy, though, despite not having as good of a season as Army, still had a good year, going to a bowl game, but the point is they had a couple extra weeks of prep because they did not play in the conference title games. They were off last week, had 2 weeks to prep for this team. Army, though, not so much. Army did have a conference title game, which they won against Tulane last week, so not as much prep time, and I think Navy will look a bit sharp early on defensively, having an extra week or two to game plan for the solid Army rushing attack, led by Daly, of course. Point is, though, Horvath is going to be back for Navy, and of course, he is the best quarterback on the roster. However, he's not played in a couple weeks because he got injured in the first quarter against Tulane, and with him not playing for a couple weeks, I do wonder if he'll be a bit rusty early on. But I understand the argument with these two offenses, with Horvath and Daly at quarterback, why they think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Maybe compared to usual, but I think that it's still going to be a pretty, I'd say, conservative start to the game for both teams. A lot at stake. We know that this is one of the biggest rivalry games of the entire calendar year in any sport, and you tend to see a pretty, I'd say, vanilla game plan from both teams early on. Try not to make many mistakes, trying to once again play the field position game before things open up a bit later on in the game. But I simply put, think that you're looking at a total of 7.5, which is too high in the first quarter. Of course, if you end up getting a touchdown, not the end of the world because the other team, or you need the same team to score again. I just don't see enough possessions. I think that each team is going to struggle on the first drive or two. I think eventually one team might score, but by that point, you're going to see a lot of time run off the clock. And unless you get a very big play in terms of yards, you might see a 7-8 minute scoring drive, which once again might kill the entire potential of the quarter to go over based on the lack of overall possessions. But 7.5, I think, is a bit too high. I think Army might end up scoring first because they are the better team, obviously. But I do think you're looking at what should be a pretty low scoring quarter, potentially 0-0, maybe 3-0 or 7-0. But I don't see multiple scores in the first quarter, so I am going to go with the unders. Once again, the play of the day here for Saturday, December 14th is going to be on the Army and Navy game first quarter under 7.5 points and minus 130 on Caesars. Bye, everyone.